Hello everyone, James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have a very different type of video to make, and it's not going to be for everyone. I completely get that, but I feel like it's a video that needs to be made. Now, I am not out camping. We're not doing anything cool per se. I'm just in my porch. I'm just sitting down, relaxing. I'm going to have me a couple cold beers and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful summer evening. I have my little Yuko grill right there. Just help me get a little fire, And just want to let you guys know on the situation that happened in my hometown in case you weren't aware. I live in the town of El Paso, Texas, in West Texas. And a few days ago, some young man traveled over here. He walked into a Walmart and he unleashed fire. He started shooting an AK-47 and he killed 22 people, hurting more. And I cannot comprehend why someone in the world would want to go into a store and start shooting at people that are just buying groceries, kids buying toys. I can't comprehend that. I don't get the end game in that. So yeah, this video is going to be just a conversation video. If anything, it's maybe just for me to vent on the situation. And yeah, like I said, it's not for everyone, so I understand this is not going to be a big video. But yeah, so if you're interested, sit down, have a cold drink, and join me. Now, before we begin talking, guys, I just want to go and cheers everyone out there watching. Truth be told, I don't really drink that much anymore, but yeah, I'm going to have a couple beers today because it's such an ugly subject matter, and I don't even know where to begin talking, to be honest. And not only that, but I'm going to enjoy the beers as well. It's, you can't, it's a beautiful night, and I'm going to enjoy my night. It's a beautiful summer night, and I'm going to get a good buzz. So, cheers to everyone watching. Okay, folks, so going back to the situation. Now, that's a very off-the-cuff video, so normally I like to kind of have a mental route and plan, angles and this and that, and that's going to have none of that. So, yeah, apologies if it's looking a little rough. But there's always something to learn from the ugliest of situations. You can learn from anything in the world. You can learn how to be, what can you walk out of that situation learning from it and being better prepared. And that's what I want to talk about, is preparedness, because we are not prepared. We are not prepared as a whole, and that includes majority of people, includes myself, for anything. This week it was an active shooter. Next week can be a tornado. The following week can be some EMP thing. It's important to not live in fear, but it's also important to understand the concept of self-reliance and preparedness. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably do that as well. We dabble in it to a degree, but even then, we can never be fully prepared for such a thing. I mean, it's not even healthy to anticipate such a thing every day. But, I mean, I'm talking about the average Joe. You know how it is. You have a girlfriend, coworkers, whatever the case may be, and they roll their eyes because you carry a knife or a multi-tool, or you have a bug-out bag in your car. And, they have this idea that, it's 2019, we live in the Western world. If something goes wrong, you call the police. If something goes wrong, you call the ambulance. The government will fix it in some way, and this is a good wake-up call for a lot of people. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And it could be little things to be more prepared, like paying attention to your surroundings. We live in a world, and I myself included, where we're always on our phone and we're not paying attention. Pay attention to exits, pay attention to weird behavior happening, that kind of stuff. That can make a difference. Little things. A couple years back, a friend of mine that I used to be a coworker with, he ran across in the freeway to, he saw a lady that crashed her car. So him and his buddy stopped to help pull her out, and she was stuck. And he had a pocket knife, and he ripped out the safety belt, the seat belt, and they got her out. A pocket knife made a difference that saved somebody's life. And yet we live in a world where, people weirded out that you have a pocket knife. So yeah, I think it's a big wake-up call for a lot of people. I'm not going to say a good wake-up call because there's nothing good about it, but we need to be more self-reliant. We have to be more prepared for such a thing. Something as little as a jack and a spare in your car can make a big difference when you're driving. It's the little things, and I'm not saying that I'm not above that. I'm by no means, this ultimate Rambo guy. Of course not. In fact, this was a great wake-up call for me of my failures as a prepper, because I don't carry a gun on my person every day. I don't conceal carry. I have weapons for hunting. I have firearms for that. But I always have been putting off getting a concealed carry. Why? Because I had that mentality. My town is pretty safe. I don't get involved with shady people, or I don't go to rough sides of the neighborhood. I'm in the mountains 90% of the time. So I have my rifle or whatever. But in the city, man, having something small on you, a small Glock, a small 380, something may have changed the outcome. May have. I'm not saying for sure, but what if it could? What if it could have taken one less life had you stopped that person? And I failed there. I failed there big time. And that's my first thing to do, is do that. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do, start looking into getting a firearm for everyday carry. Yeah. And yeah, just preparedness in general for everyone. Like I said, this week it was a shooter. Next week it could be something else, and people just have this cushioned mentality of the world. We live in a diaper mentality where someone else is going to take care of it for us. But we have to take it. It's our shit. We have to take care of it, With that being said, another thing is, don't live in fear. I think just as sad as the incident for me personally was the day after all the situation happened to now. It's been about 4 days, 5 days maybe. It's just a lot of arguing on social media. Trump this and Second Amendment that, and leftists and socialists, and it's just shut up. Just shut the hell up. I don't know. I'm sure these conversations have their place, but instead of seeing more of a coming together, and there was some people that were, going to blood banks and donating stuff, and that's beautiful. I'm glad to see that. At the same time, you see so many people just bickering over the dumbest shit. Just be quiet. Just be helpful. Instead of complaining about something or somebody, do something, for someone. Help them. 22 people have died. That's mothers that died. That kids are growing up without mothers now. Stuff like that, man. And there's no shortage of things you can do. Groceries, school supplies, anything. Yeah, and it's just so disheartening to see people just arguing. And one thing I want to make sure, guys, is I try hard to keep politics and religion and all that ugly, because I consider all that stuff ugly, and I don't bring it up to Junkyard Fox. If you know me in person and you know where I stand with this and that, then cool. But in Junkyard Fox, I keep those things away, because the world is unpleasant enough as it is when it comes to that. Society is just unpleasant in those things. And when you watch a Junkyard Fox video, I hope it brings you comfort. I hope it's a little bit of escapism. And there's times where I've had a conversation with people and they tell me that they had a really crappy day at work, or they're chemo or something, and they see the update that Junkyard Fox posted a video, and it makes their day, and that really just makes me feel so good. And it's one of the best compliments you can ever get. So I don't want to bring those ugly things, and I hope down there in the comments below, I hope it doesn't get to that point where we're arguing this and that, guys, okay? Alright, folks, so I'm back. So my first lantern, I didn't charge it enough before thinking of this video. This video was very off the cuff, so it died on me, so I had to get my second lantern, which is some cheapy Walmart one. And then also I placed this flashlight back here. This is the ThruNite T1 that I did last week. I reviewed it. So that way it kind of balances out the lighting so it doesn't look so amateur. Anyway, going back to what I was saying is, please don't get all political down in the comments, guys. I don't want to see arguing. The internet has no shortage of places to get in arguments with for anything. So you'll find your place. It's like the Wild West in the internet. Everyone's dueling everybody for whatever reason. Not here. Now, I don't care for that stuff. Like I said, I keep those things out of this channel for a reason. And as much as I want to show you guys skills, showing how to gather this plant or fishing or whatever the case may be, gear reviews, at the same time, I do like to provide entertainment as well, because the world has plenty of fear mongering. The world has plenty of things. If you really, really sat down and thought about all the misfortunes and the tragedies that are happening every minute in this earth, you would go insane. You would hang yourself. It's an ugly world. So, we should also enjoy life. And I try very hard when I make a Junkyard Fox video that not only do we want to show skills or, review gear, all that stuff, but at the same time, I try very hard to make every single video a movie. I try, really make it entertaining, and, we put music and angles and this and that, and I hope you guys enjoy it, because there's plenty of fear-mongering in this world, and I don't want to be part of that. I want to tell you to be prepared. I want to teach you skills and, make you think about stuff that maybe you've never thought about, but I don't want to be one of those people. And, this is everywhere. Fear-mongering is on CNN. It is on the internet all over the place, because, news channels that are fake are running rampant. Even some channels in this genre that I cannot comprehend why that's all they do is fear-monger. And come on, like, one thing's to know the fear, and one thing's to know the threat, and another thing's just to live with it, and that's not healthy. Alright, folks, so I'm just going to end it pretty soon. I'm just about rambling right now. And I will put the links down below for the GoFundMe page for the victims of this tragedy, because, one person dying is expensive enough. Let's be realistic, the funeral expenses and all that stuff. Now, keep in mind their loved ones as well. Once again, children have died because their parents were killed. I have a friend of mine who her uncle was in the situation. He died. So I'll post the link down below as well. And if you are inclined, or if you have the money to give a couple bucks, that would really make a big difference. I myself am making donations, as well as if you are in town, if you do live in this town and you can help in one way or another, I'll put the links of the stuff that I know right now. And that's about it, guys. I'm not gonna beat this into the ground. Like I said, it's a rambly video. I really didn't have some kind of route for it. I'm just expressing how I feel, and hopefully we could be more prepared. But at the same time, guys, don't live in fear. Live your life and enjoy it. And this is a great wake-up call for all of us to follow what we do enjoy, what makes us happy, because life can be taken like this. Once again, it's not always just, some random shooting. It could be something like an accident while you're driving to work, something like that, and it won't just affect you. It'll affect your loved ones, your friends. So just be careful. Be prepared, myself included. I need to work on my shortcomings, and enjoy life. And enjoy life. But what else can you do? Don't live in fear, but just be more prepared. Understand that, we're very cushioned in the Western world, but things still happen. So I'm just going to end it there, guys. I'm not going to beat this into the ground. So have a good night, guys. I'm thankful for all the views. I'm thankful for everyone out there. I'm thankful if you do help, if it's possible for you to help. And, yeah. So.